Just the audio only. Hope you guys can hear me clearly, which I'm sure you can. As you guys know, just this morning, I did a live. And in that live, I was talking about Jaguar, right? And I was talking about what I think she should do. And it was actually a re-upload or redo, if you want to say, of something I had previously put up, right? And I said to myself, I said, yo, you know what? I hope she hears what I have to say. I was saying, I hope Jaguar hears what I have to say. I was actually hoping that somebody that knew her would come across that post and hear it. And at that moment, they would know what they're saying. Guys, this is going to be audio only because I want everybody to hear what I'm saying instead of looking at my pretty mug here. But seriously, so shout outs once again to King Payne. I want to say that to him because later on afterwards, I had seen his post and I'm glad he did what he did because I was lost on some things. But Tokyo Tony actually had the phone call up. Shout out to Tokyo Tony. Like I said, guys, this is an audio only right here because I want everybody to listen to what I had to say. So Tokyo Tony got a phone call from Jag, and Jag said a whole bunch of things, but more importantly, that they got Jaguar on a hold right now in a mental institution. A segue to a mental institution, a mental facility, a behavioral facility, whatever you want to put it, behavioral management, whatever you want to say. They have deemed her a threat through the court, though. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna cuss you out anyway, cause I'm gonna hit you back in 20 minutes, my nigga. Yeah, all right. You know I gotta talk shit. What up, Nat? So anyway, they're holding her, and I've gotten different opinions. Some people saying it's 24 hours, 72 hours, whatever the case may be. The reason y'all hearing this audio only is because of pure simple fact. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying instead of seeing my mug on the screen. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. So they're holding her for a psychological evaluation, basically. And somehow or another, I don't know if it was a nurse or a roommate in the room with her, or whatever the case may be, which tends to be the situation if you're in a hospital of any type of sort. You usually have a roommate or somebody that's in the next room with you. Or sometimes, if you're rich enough, you can get a private room. But in this case, somebody handed her a phone and she was able to log into her account. And she was streaming. And Tokyo Tony was on there with her. And there was a whole bunch of things that was said. And I ain't gonna break down every single thing, but the most two poignant things that stuck out to me was one, they were advocating not only in that chat, but later on I went to King Payne's chat as well. Shout out to him. Like I said, shout out to him. I agree with some of the things you said today, but I don't think you went full throttle like the rest of these bloggers. So shout out to that young man. You know, it was crazy because somebody suggested, then many people started suggesting that she leave her husband. And then I just started hearing some of the rhetoric that she was saying that I don't know what to be true or false. There was a lot of accusations in there that I don't want to repeat on here. You know, I don't want to be that guy. But I will say there was some accusations there that this seemed a little contrived a little bit. It just didn't fit the character of the guy. If you've really been following her, I'm not talking about her recent return. I'm talking about her previous time of being here, which was around the same time I broke here on YouTube. And so when I listened to this whole conversation between her and Tokyo Tony, now the reason I'm talking about it is a reason behind it. It's not gossip. It's a reason behind it. That's why I'm admitting a lot of things that took place in that conversation because then that would lead to gossip. And then I'd be a hypocrite. But what I heard in those conversations was exactly what I just said to you guys this morning. It was a re-recording of something I said the night before. And I gave simple instructions there that should have been taken heed. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all in here. Do that for me. Y'all could have had a wonderful day today. It's going to rain tomorrow. I told them to hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Rest of these guys sitting in the studio. I'm trying to explore, show y'all some things. But y'all have it as y'all will. It'll come. One of the things that also stuck out to me was the fact that people were actually in those chat rooms advocating and asking why Goomba wasn't arrested. And I said, well, Goomba wasn't arrested because apparently he ain't do nothing, or at least to the extreme the police felt that she did, which must have been extreme because they didn't charge her with any crime. I want to make that sit paramount with you guys in this conversation. They didn't charge her with anything. They've got her on a psychological hold. And I heard her in the conversation when she was talking to Tokyo Tony, and she said this one phrase, and it stuck out to me. And I'm not trying to trash her. I wouldn't return to trash her, but it stuck out to me nevertheless, Jag. You said, you know how many people I got on YouTube right now? Then you reiterated YouTube again. Then you said, I'm going to do a 2-hour joint on YouTube. YouTube. You know how big I am on YouTube. I'm like, you big around the chitlin circuit. And I don't think you've realized that. You big around the chitlin circuit. See, there's a big difference. And there's a couple people on YouTube that claim that fame. I would never, being somebody that came from the fame game in the music industry, I can tell you straight up, I would never look at YouTube a vehicle that owns my material, or at least the very least shares my material, to the point where I couldn't lease my material out without getting permission from them, at least partially. I don't understand that. And then after I get it from YouTube, I would have to get it from Google. Then after I get it from Google, I have to get it from Alphabet, which is the parent company of YouTube and Google. So that's 3 chambers I got to go through. That's a whole different distribution deal right there that you don't want. You'll see maybe 10 to 15% of your revenue, I would guess, after it goes through 4 parties. You don't own this material, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if you just look at your YouTube agreement, you will see there's a secondary agreement formed that aligns with Google. So when I heard her say, after I said what I said this morning, I said, you need to move away from social media, Jaguar. Get away from social media. And here you are from the hospital bed. The hospital bed. Wanting to jump online. This is how addictive this stuff is. This is how addictive it is. It's addictive, isn't it? But see, Jaguar, you're different. You've actually been a star before, so you've had the crowd's attention. And you know this is different. There's no way in heck you don't know this is different. This is not fame. This is sensationalism. This is being seen through the lights and the guises of the people that were in those chat rooms today. And they were talking about Jaguar and her call from the hospital on both. And I want to say King Payne provided the breakdown for me, because a lot of things I didn't know what she was talking about. I'll be quite honest with you. So shout out to King Payne again. It was also, we're doing audio only tonight, guys, if you're wondering. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying instead of seeing me. I don't think it's always necessary for you to be on camera. Hey, look at my face. Screaming out your cash up 35 times, you know. If y'all like to donate, it's $STRINGERBELL80. If you don't do that, make sure you share. Jaguar's now being held in a psych ward. And people were in the chat room talking about, we need to free her. Now, this is why I disagree with King Payne. You don't need to free her. Based on it, I'm going to tell you why. And I've never been an advocate of anybody being locked up, put away, anything like that. And I'm not saying throw the key away on her. Sometimes you can unwittingly, and listen to me, King Payne, sometimes you can unwittingly be what people would call an enabler. And I've noticed this behavior many times with Blacks and Latinos where they're enablers. Unintentionally. Sometimes it's just culture-based. You understand? And if you say a woman that has been deemed by the state, and let me assure you this, it is very hard. I'll give you a perfect example here. Mayor Adams in New York City, right? He recently enacted a law where previously you couldn't lock up someone that was mentally unstable. I talked about this before at the time when it happened. If somebody was mentally unstable and they happened to be homeless or whatever, there was a lot of provisions you had to go through before to actually get those people locked up or put in the facilities or whatever you want to define it as. Very hard. You had to deem them a threat to the public, and that has to come from a judge, and then a judge had to sign off on it with a doctor, then the doctor had to. It's a lot of preparation for it, and it's not in a 24-hour period. It takes a couple hours. She got a judge order to stay there. And after followed behind that, she got a I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna presume that she's gonna get a doctor's order to probably stay there. And they're gonna probably recommend something from her. And usually they do that when it's a history of things like that, in my opinion. And this is why I say King Payne, including the people that were in Tokyo Tony's chat and Jag's chat, y'all enable us. Y'all don't give a damn about Jaguar, right? I think King Payne does. I even think Tokyo Tony does too, but you're thinking in the wrong frame of mind. Say she gets out or whatever the case may be, and next time it's not these friendly batches of cops. Say next time it's not the cops that didn't charge Jaguar Wright with absolutely anything. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Next time it might not be these type of cops. Next time it might be some cop that just like we saw the Black Lives Matter founder, her cousin was tased to death. Next time she might be inebriated even more so than she was this time. See, y'all not taking pinpoints from what's going on. She was inebriated when she was arrested. I just said in my live this morning, make sure if anybody comes in the studio from now on that they're not inebriated and you're not inebriated when you come in the studio. I also said in that live, you can go back and see it. Right now, it's my last upload. I said, yo, do not get online. Someone is going to see that. Someone that doesn't like you is going to see that more specifically. So if you're worried about anybody using ammo against you, you just handed them a whole fucking clip with an extendo. You told everybody what you was going to do, how you was going to do it, what your wishes were, and all this stuff, or whatever, whatever. And quite frankly, anybody that's a friend of yours shouldn't be worried about having you on there. They should have it private. If you really want to have a conversation with her, have it privately. Ask what you can do to help. Ask her, you want me to come up there and come see you or whatever, whatever. But under no circumstances right now, y'all need to let her get the help that she needs. And I'm going to tell you even more importantly why. Why a lot of y'all like Jaguar Wright, the personality, versus Jaguar Wright, the artist. I know what it means right now in these last couple of years as an artist. These are the last years of your youth. Make no mistake about it. I'm in my 40s now. I don't hide it. And these are the last years and a couple of early years of your 50s, I suppose. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there, I guess. But those are the last years of your youth to jump on that stage, move around on that stage in a certain frame or whatever, whatever. And it's possible to do it in your 60s and stuff like that too, but it's much harder depending on what type of genre of music. Now, singing lasts forever. That's what she is. I'm a singer. Lasts forever. But if you're a performer and you're trying to re-release some material, get back in the game, and make no mistake about it, Josephine Baker and many other women were way worse off. Freaking, I forgot what the woman's name is that sung that song, "Strange Fruit" from the apple tree. Whatever the case, the name of that song. She was a drug addict and a heroin addict. Many of the people that you had in Broadville, Sammy Davis Jr. was a cocaine. A lot of they all come back. Frankie Lyman tried to come back one time, you know. So these are old singers from the past. And some didn't make it, like Jimi Hendrix, and some didn't make it. Nina was that Nina Simone? Nina Simone was on some shit too. No, it was earlier before her. It was Strange Fruit. The lady that sung the song Strange Fruit. That's the name of the song. But Josephine Baker, many of these women, they fell off, if you want to say, and they came back. That's the most beautiful thing, because sometimes when you come back, you're bigger than what you are. I want to see her as an artist again. If y'all have a best interest at heart, you want to see her as an artist again too, while she still has these last years as a woman, as y'all say so frequently, as a woman. You will want to see her prosper right now. And if y'all keep enabling her and saying all these crazy things and whatever just comes to your head, we need to go down there to that hospital and get her. They holding her against her will. She said so. You talking to a woman that's being held on a mental health evaluation. And y'all entertaining the fact and watching her as she's going through it and making a spectacle of it and garnering donations and everything else off her misery. And I'm not talking about casually talking about her like I am. There's a whole bunch more I could divulge to you guys. Her husband called in later on, and talked to Tokyo Tony. Her husband called in. He had a different story. There's always two sides of stories. His story, her story, his story, their story, and then it's the truth. Y'all not even using those basic skills. I heard people in the chat room, I always knew I couldn't trust him. You don't even know this man. And every time I've seen them, from the beginning, from when I've seen this couple and to the end, they're always together. They're always smiling. They're always grinning. I had some of the videos up, you know? So I know what their character was or whatever the case may be. And maybe this is just a moment with them. He seems to love her. Hey, OG Patrice, what's going on, sis? He seems to love her. So when I see you guys in Tokyo Tony's live and Jag's live and King Payne, shout out to him or whatever, and y'all upset, y'all mad because she's locked up where she's locked up at right now, but this might be the best for her for the moment. Let's take away and say everything she was saying was the truth, right? Let's just say hypothetically, everything she was saying was the truth. Do you think she can broadcast that and not be mentally well? Stress can make you mentally unstable. I'm not talking about the reason she said what she said is because of the stories. Y'all mixing it up. What I'm saying to you is stress and other different things like that. They are factors in making people go off bridge. And let's say, for example, her husband was putting paws on her. I don't know. He doesn't seem like that, but what if he was? It was a story. The guy was in the car with them, and we later found out it was true, pointing a gun to his head with her and the dude in the back of the car. So I don't know. Y'all make sure to hit that like button. Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL 80. Stringer Bell 80. Link is in the description box. I feel sorry for people that just automatically say whatever out their mouth because it sounds good in front of a camera instead of being honest and truthful and saying what's really going on. I was in a position where I was mentally stressed, just like that during that damn pandemic. I know what it's like, and it'll make you go into different worlds of thinking sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Under duress. I got to leave out with one thing, and I'm going to say this, and this is the part that bothered me the most about that interview and why I take up for Goomba here. Regardless of what happened and transpired between them, I've known women to hit men. I've known women to stab men. I've known women to cut men. I've known women to throw glasses at men. I've known women to hit men with bottles. I've seen a whole bunch of things happen to men at the behest of women. So you cannot tell me, including my own sister having to take up for me because a chick did something to me quickly, sneakily. Women can be vicious. Jaguar, your Philly, half a Jersey self can be kind of tough sometimes. You try to come off to me tough. I wasn't having it. And you knew that from the get-go. And I appreciate you respected that when we had our interaction. But I got to say this. I'm not speaking about this publicly. I have a private and personal conversation with my friend Jack. I love her and Goomba. Exactly. When I'm reflecting on OG Patrice, it's some of the things that was said, and as you can obviously hear, because y'all know you've heard the conversation, I'm omitting a couple of things. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm still on top of the narrative because as OG Patrice know, as Annette know, whatever, regardless of how I feel about her, she still gave me my star here. You understand what I'm saying? She was definitely responsible for a lot of that. So I don't have to admonish her necessarily or whatever. But what I am going to point out what is facto here and some things that just sound funny and just some things that they're going to talk about anyway. So you might as well have some navigation out there and have other voices talking about it. So if they come across my post, they'll know, hey, he was been and said this. And if you go back to my last upload, Ojo Patrice, you're going to see exactly what I was talking about because I said this morning and it was a re-upload of what I had said the night before. So I actually said it hours ago. And I said at that time, I said, she doesn't need to talk to the media. Don't talk to these people, especially at the position where you're at right now. They're going to use it against you. Yeah, there's going to be a few people that'll take up for you or whatever, but there was far more people. There was one point where I'm going to tell you how deep it got, y'all. It was one point within the chat where they were saying, some people were saying free Jag. And then somebody countered that and they said, keep Jag. And then people started mimicking the hashtag up and up and up and up and down the screen. I just saw it, and I saw way more keep Jags than I did free Jag. And I said to myself, I said, well, I know what it's like to be under that type of duress. So why would you say free Jag? Let Jag get the help that she needs, and then she can be legally, if she's all right, she can be legally staping and have that stamp with her where the hospital says she's okay. She's already in the pickle now. So that's the problem with a lot of y'all. Let me give you an example here. If the police stop you and they start putting you in cuffs or whatever, there is absolutely nothing you can do that's going to get them to let you out of them cuffs. You're caught. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you get a lot of snitches nowadays, because they don't understand that very simple concept. If you are in the pickle, then you in the middle of the freaking pickle, and there's nothing you can do to get up out of it until time is set forth for you to see a judge or the exonerating facilities, whoever that may be, that see over your situation. Now, a lot of y'all, I don't know, for some reason or another, you think you got special placement or you can make up your own rules as far as how government goes, as far as how procedure goes, or whatever, whatever. This is the presumptuous tone I've got off of the people that I heard in that chat room that were saying the things they were saying. And some of it just sounded silly. They were making up conspiracy theories. This person got her, this person got her. I mean, well, is that a far-fetched idea, really? I mean, did you just strike gold with your idea? You talked about everybody. But that ain't the situation. This was a personal issue. So how do you translate Jay-Z or somebody like that, or Puff or whatever, whatever, with this situation where there's not even any match to it? No, see, this situation was for their own doing. And what sounds like a bunch of dysfunctional drug addicts. 3 of them. I heard the story about homie. I heard you stole millions of dollars from your carbonation crew in Blue Town and then lost all the money, tricking and frolicking. How you lose millions of dollars tricking and following, frolicking? I don't understand. That's old boy that was with him, that young boy. That she was ashing, I don't know. The story was deep, but that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I just wanted to let y'all know where she was at, in case they start lying and say she got kidnapped or the Baphomet got her. They holding up for ransom at Rock Nation headquarters or something. You know what I mean? The weird stuff is, I'm starting to ask myself the question of this, and I don't know if you guys are either. This is a nice little way just to continue this conversation with Jag included. Who's more dangerous now, or who's more psychotic, and who's more erratic, and who's a little bit more off? Is it the subscribers and the people listening to you, or the actual podcasters and the participants and the personalities? I'll say that for you again. Who's more prone to do weirdo, say weirdo, move weirdo? I'm not necessarily pointing anybody out here, but I think it's the subscribers. The subscribers have no chill and they have no caution. You see what I'm saying? And the reason they don't is because most of them are anonymous. You can't even see who they are. They don't have any avatar. They don't have any type of information. You go to their page. A lot of times it's a fake page or whatever the case may be. But what I heard was with these people that were listening to Jag talk, right? They were all asking like and saying ridiculous things, at least 60% of them. Ridiculous things. We need to go down there and get her out. We did how? How? And you could go down there and sit in the lobby or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. But you're going to go down there and get her how? She's under the judge's orders. Unhinged subscribers. I like that terminology right there. That's what it is. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL 80. Don't tell me you can't donate to me. And I've seen everybody. I saw somebody make $300 a day talking about Jag. Literally. And they called themselves a friend. Well, I guess your friend make a scratch off your back, I guess. I don't know. So don't tell me you can't throw 10, 20, $30 in my joint. That was crazy. Today, if y'all would have did that, we would have had a wonderful day. But it is what it is. I'm going to continue to talk about this because it's the subscribers that seem to be a problem nowadays. The subscribers navigate the YouTubers to talk recklessly like they do, in my opinion. The subscribers don't care about anybody but themselves. If you don't believe me, you got a few people that's still loyal to Kevin Samuels, right? But the bulk of people don't talk about Kevin Samuels no more. If it's a rapper, the duration on that shelf life is even shorter after they're gone. How many people talk about DMX anymore? See what I mean? How many people talk about XXXTentacion anymore? You know what? His trial selection has started this week in Miami, in Broward. See what I mean? Shout out to my cousin for letting me know that too. You're easily forgettable in this climate we're in because there's so many faces in it. And the subscribers know that. And they know as quickly as they can switch off from you, they can go to somebody else and there's no problem. Tonight, when I was in somebody's live, I'm not going to mention who it was, but tonight I was with two famous people live. Two people that y'all pretty much know that, and one of them knows me intimately, pretty damn good. So you know what I mean? And it was funny because, and when I mean intimately, I mean personally. I don't mean like sexually, because I know a lot of y'all switch that up. Jesus Christ. See what I mean? Subscribers make you have to say that. And a lot of these subscribers are juvenile in their thinking process. Like, how do you make, are you still alive? I don't know what Wiley means or what, whatever you said, bro. You'll ask some of these people, how are you still alive thinking the way you think? So I think a lot of the things that a lot of these bloggers do that I'm blaming a lot of stuff on and blaming the conditions and how everything is, include Jaguar today, and where everybody wants to run and prounce with that, is this. Are the subscribers the problem that's making a lot of you bloggers do what y'all do? Y'all make sure to hit the like button for me. Cash App and PayPal and all that stuff in the description box. Is it the subscribers that's making y'all do what y'all do? Because I think that's what it is. And if you that weak-minded, hey, Trinity Time Travel Show, what's going on? I think if you that and everybody else in here, OG Patrice, Nat, Creative Keisha, what's going on? Trying to see who else up in here. Everybody else is up in here. I just I think the subscribers are becoming the problem in the YouTube community and the type of subscribers that you're attracting. And when you got serious issues like this, Jaguar Wright is in a mental facility right now. And people are enabling her and encouraging her, even if they got good intentions, to be on camera and talk. And when you hear her talk in the audio, if y'all haven't heard, and the video, if y'all haven't heard it, King Payne, he played the audio, of course, smart man. But you can catch it on the video on Tokyo Tony. She got, and Jag. And listen to it for yourself and you be your own judge. I mean, I really don't want to judge her on it, but it sounded wild. And the reason it sounded wild, Jag, if you hear this on the playback, not because you sounded like you were crazy, the situation and where you was at made you look like you was crazy. It was like you were so addicted to that YouTube and you said it repeatedly in your diatribe. And it was like, yo, you literally went out of the way to get somebody else's phone. This wasn't her phone. This was someone else's phone. This is what I'm trying to emphasize to you. So that means you had to log into your account. If the app wasn't on it, you had to download the app. And you took it upon yourself to go stream with Tokyo Tony while you laying up in the hospital talking about you not eating, they ain't treating you well. That's Texas. I've been to Texas. I know Texas. Shout out to Austin. I went to work down there before. And let me try to tell you something. Ain't nobody in Texas lacking in food. There's food everywhere. There in Arizona and Miami are the three cities, and New York, are the 4 cities I know in this United States that always have food. They are food places, period. New York is one of the few places, if you are messed up or whatever the case may be, you can walk into any restaurant in New York and they will give you something. Same thing goes with Miami. Same thing goes with Texas. Most of the women down in Texas are representative of that. They all got big hips. Even the white girls, y'all would say, they got big hips. The black women got big hips. The Mexican women got big hips. It's no lack of food in Texas, and that's what she's locked up at. Well, I don't want to insinuate locked up, but that's in the middle facility that she's at right now. Y'all should be hoping that she gets help. And at the very least, y'all should leave it alone and see if these people get her a certificate and let her go. Once she gets that, she's back in the trail. And the steering is right in your hand. Now I know she sees it a different way. I know that. But if you know her, like Patrice does, or other people do, hey, Ruby Johnson, what's going on? Ruby Johnson, thanks for your donation of the night, too. I appreciate that. I really do. I just saw that when you got off, and I liked it today. Guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App as well. I saw some people making crazy money talking down about Jaguar, right? I watched somebody talk down about her today, and their subscribers donated at least $300 to this dude. And no, it wasn't King Payne. It wasn't King Payne. King Payne wasn't talking down about her. This was somebody in particular that was talking major crap about her. And I was just watching people in the chat, $50, $100. And I said, you donate money to this dude talking trash? He ain't even saying nothing that's real or like authentic or thought worthy. That's the thing that kills me. Y'all give money to dummies. No offense. Some of them, a lot of them, 70% of them. So make sure you hit up my Cash App too. $STRINGERBELL80. If you don't have Cash App, there's a PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, there's also a GoFundMe link in below. Go in and hit all those up in the description box and support the channel like you support these liars and enablers and this really deceitful, nasty people. You know, that's why I said, who's worse? Is it the vloggers or the subscribers? Well, not only when it comes to Jaguar, but when it comes to a lot of people. Academics, I saw you today on there talking about King Vaughn and how many people he had killed. And I was just like, yo, the kid's dead. Kid's dead, you know? And now they trying to run through it because, you know, the thing with FBG Duck, they're trying to come up and say, oh, who did he kill and all this, whatever. And I was like, DJ Academics, it was about to kill you for doing that war in Chirac. You don't realize that? That was before you had the money you have right now. You were scared. They was going to kill you for doing that war in Chirac YouTube page. They told you, they said, if you come to motherfucking Chicago, we will bury you up under O Block. You got to be careful. And now you bringing up this young boy, you know what he's affiliated with. And I know you got a couple friends, but they no mistake about it. Them boys ain't no chumps. They'll get you. They'll get you. When you least expect it, you're not untouchable. And I see you've been running around, big cat, boy, you ain't bulletproof. They got Pablo Escobar that get you. Remember that. They got Scarface in there, and they'll get you. They got Manuel Noriega. They'll get you and his wife. You understand? Back up off that. Leave that alone. It's not a good idea because what it does is incites these kids, you know? And then you get doppelgangers. There'll be people that want to be just like him, want to live out his legacy like that. You know, what you can tend to say what he might possibly be is true. I'm not saying what you're saying is untrue. I'm talking about the leaking of the information and the facilitating of the discussion. That's what I'm talking about. It leads to no good. And please remember, you got a birthday just like everybody else. You ain't 21 no more, DJ Academics. Remember that. You're not 21 no more. So I know everybody say you talk to the youth or whatever, but on the reality tip of it, you are old head now. You are old head now. OG Academics, you are old head now. Just like Drake, just like a lot of other ones. You are old head now. So let's not act like you some spring chicken and you talking to all the 18 and 19-year-olds. No, now you're having to keep up just like the rest of us did. That's what I'm talking about, King Vaughn and that situation. I was like, this is the same thing I'm talking about. And I was listening to what the subscribers were saying, the followers, whatever you want to say. And it was just some of the most sick stuff. Some of them was backing it. They was like, yeah, that's what's up. Enticed by it, incited. And I know a couple of y'all be like, well, there's movies y'all like The Terminator. What? The Terminator is a movie. This is real life. This is real life. So I say, I think a lot of you guys that are vloggers, y'all getting some of the worst people that are coming to your pages. You don't know these people. Some of these people are criminals. Some of these people are murderers. Some of these people are just losers. Some of these people are the local drug addicts, drug heads, whatever the case may be. And you're interacting with them, talking about brother, sister, brother, and all this jab shit and everything like that or whatever. In reality, these people will get you at any given moment. They're watching you and seeing how much money you're collecting on these cash apps and all this stuff. They're watching you and listening to what you're saying and what kind of car you bragging about you driving. All that. There's been a couple bloggers have been followed, robbed. I forgot what the Forex trader guy's name was. He's an Indian fella. They ran up into his spot that he was renting as an Airbnb out in LA, took his BMW to a $1 million worth of jewelry, a whole bunch. It happened like 2, 3 months ago. I just never reported on it because I was like, I was conscientious of that. I was like, I ain't putting this out and give motherfuckers ideas. They'd be like, where'd you figure this out? That guy saw it on his page. Everybody's watching these pages. Don't be influenced by these subscribers and the couple of dollars they give. Sometimes I get on here, don't nobody donate to me. I got on here this morning and I was like, yo, listen, I made sure I went out early so I could go to these spots or whatever, whatever. I was going to take y'all to the Guggenheim today, the Guggenheim Museum. I was going to take y'all there. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, well, listen, I got to pay like $25, $30 to get in there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Let me see my supporters to support me. Nobody responded. But y'all go get $300 to somebody that's talking about, and I watched it with my own 2 eyes. And he did it in a small amount of time. He did it within like 45 minutes, had over $300 in his Cash App for basically talking down about Jaguar, right? And he had nothing to offer to the conversation, no original thought whatsoever, just regurgitating BS. So y'all don't even ask for premium content. Y'all so used to having some minds like, I don't know, low vibrational info that y'all just roll with that and accept that. When you should be demanding more. You should accept more. So I don't know. Once again, like I said, I don't know if it's the subscribers or the bloggers, but the subscribers are definitely influencing the bloggers to make some of the decisions on the topic points that they do have. And I'm saying, okay, well, if that's the case, you tap dancing for dollars, bloggers. See, if I don't get no donations, I still keep the show going. It's been many times, including last week, where I spent my own dime to go to the town, to go in front of Trump Tower just to talk about the situation with the people, whatever, whatever, whatever. But you can't always depend on the people to support you. You can't always depend on the people to have your best interests at heart, because in this narcissistic world that we live in, things have changed. I know a lot of y'all wanted to revert back to the way it used to be, going to Big Mama house, eating on Sunday and all that stuff. Unless you invoke it or create a vibe that brings that back together again, it will never happen. It's just a thought and an idea of the past. You see what I mean? It's no different than some man being like, I really do miss sharecropping. You know what I'm saying? I really do miss when everybody caught the train. You get what I'm saying? It's the thing of the old that will never return unless you behave and bring it back yourself. And right now, in the direction you guys are going, the trajectory you guys are going, celebrating death. A lot of y'all are literally celebrating death, destruction, and all the tenements of being evil and don't even realize it. That's the funny thing about it. You're not even conscious about it, what you're supporting. See, ideals and the way you engage, they represent the ideals and the morality within yourself. You see what I'm saying? And so the ideas of morality within yourself naturally come out invoked in the decisions that you make. So if I see you make a decision of, you got a myriad of decisions and you type this in the chat room, and then I see the next comment after that and it mirrors that one and it mirrors that one and it mirrors that one, there's a chance that I'm wrong. But most of the time I'm right. And that means that you got some sadistic tendencies, meaning you'll smile with me right now, But when it comes down to it, and you got to think for you and you only, you're going to cut me deep too. That's how the average subscriber is nowadays. The average subscriber doesn't have any loyalty. They are not a fan. A fan has loyalty. A fan will come back to you. A fan will support you monetarily. That's a fan. They'll buy your material, buy your music. That's a fan. A spectator, on the other hand, he gonna try to get everything for free. A spectator will be across the street, as long as he get the witness. And trust me on this, because there's been a number of places that I couldn't get in, even being attached to a record label. So I would have to stand across the street myself or stand outside myself. You know what I mean? That's happened to me a couple of times. We had capacity, we got priority tonight, whatever the case may be. Don't think we got into every club, because we didn't. You know what I mean? There were times that we had to sit outside for an hour, 2 hours before we could get in. It just was what it was. With that said, I'm just saying, people, stop letting the reaction of your subscribers dictate what your subject matter is. Take back your power. Your power is your vlogger. And you could have just simply came online today and said, Jaguar Wright is here. This is her condition. This is how she is. Blah, 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 blah. You didn't have to give deep dives. You didn't have to have 2-hour conversations with this woman while she's in the hospital. Let this woman get the care that they supposedly say she needs. And if she doesn't need that, hey, let's hurry up the process and let her come home, or whatever the case may be. Maybe she did have a bad day. I don't know. But I'm not the deciding factor in that, because I'm not a doctor. And for you to sit there and relegate and say, oh, well, free Jaguar, da 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 da. What if you're the reason, if she gets released early and she really does need some help, and you're the reason that something worse happens to her next time? Say next time the cops are not so nice and she gets some redneck or whatever, says, you know what, this woman's out of control. Pop, 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 pop. Now that mustard's all over your shirt. See what I mean? Now somebody poked a hole in your jelly donut. You see what I mean? So you don't get the opportunity to walk that back if something happens to her. And it would all be from your enabling and saying, that Jaguar right out there, that the hospital is a conspiracy. Rock Nation set this up. How Rock Nation set up an argument between her and her husband? You got it, Prez. Prez right there. Y'all give me 1 second. You already know. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just texting somebody back important. My big bro. Speaking of that, I must have typed him up. Anyway, long story short, y'all. When I say this, I mean it. Moving forward, all you vloggers are going to find you're going to be forced into the position. So I'm giving you the future here, okay? And you don't have to believe me. But what you want to start doing and practicing is doing some original material. You know, this is how YouTube started. It started out as an original place. People, original content creators or whatever. In the past 7 years in the invention of World Star, because I saw it RP to Q. I saw it, Q started it. That's when y'all got into the salacious, savage, this anything goes for $1 type of shit. And most of y'all are tap dance and jump in the river with a chain wrapped around your neck and a brick wall and a couple of bricks. You know what I mean? And never see light again for a couple of dollars. And you really ain't making that much money, to be honest, in the skew of everything else, you know. Elon Musk is a billionaire, don't you know? Jeff Bezos is a billionaire, don't you know? So you're making trinkets and rags and tatters to buy you another slave chain, or, you know, the newest skinkers. All stuff that don't have no value to it, but yet and still you won't take 15 minutes to go out of your way and put some money into some fraction shares. I've had to wring their neck literally. I'm like, yo, buy you some freaking stocks. Not right now, though. Don't buy none right now. Wait about 2 months. The market messed up right now. You know what I'm saying? Real messed up. It's been so for probably the past month and a half. So don't invest particularly now, but I'm saying do invest. And it's hard to get people to do that, but jump online and talk down about somebody just to be talking down about them because you think it's going to get you a couple views and hits and your subscribers, that's what they prefer. And once again, you're crushing your own people. Oh, girl, I can't believe this. Oh, man. Wow. Ha ha. She fell. Aha. I knew she wasn't telling the truth. I knew she was a piece of crap. Blah, blah, blah. You should have heard the things people were saying. Depending on the vlogger you're listening to, and depending on where you at, you will hear different stories of these people and the things they had to say. And all of them, most of them were terrible. There were some supporters. Most of them were terrible. Y'all make sure to hit that like button for me. Y'all hit everybody else's like button. Hit my like button too. Make sure you hit up the Cash App $sign STRINGERBELL80. We about to switch this up and we can't start getting support for this channel. I'm gonna have to just make the sacrifice and go ahead and partner with Google because I like after January, I can't do it. I can't depend on the support of the folks because this is why I'm having this conversation right now, and I'm inclusive with Jaguar Wright in it. I watched a man today literally say nothing. He had nothing of original thought. No, I am not talking about King Payne. He was actually informative. I'm talking about another vlogger, and I'm not going to say his name, but this is a ridiculous thing, and this is the mindset that a lot of African Americans and Latinos are at right now, and it sickens me to my stomach that this man was able to make 300, I'm going to say more than $300, probably 320, 40, somewhere around there. And I made these denominations because every time, and I wasn't pocket watching them, he was announcing it. So you couldn't help but hear it because you're there. You get what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, I said, this motherfucker just made like $350 some dollars in like 45 minutes. I had more subscribers than him. That was for one. Two, not only did I have more subscribers than him, I definitely had more uploads than him. I definitely went live more often than him. The only time he seemed to go live is when something was going on that was of importance or whatever, where versus myself, I go every day. He had uploads that he would miss 4 or 5 days. So he wasn't consistent. And the only thing I could catch out of it was he was just had this animated, goofy, like half a slave kind of personality. And yeah, I said that correctly, half a slave, because there's a lot of people running around reverting back to the primitive and acting like slaves. Yes, I did say that. Oh Lordy, Lordy, Lord, I can't believe this happened. What is we gonna do? Don't nobody talk like that. Then they want to pontificate when they get around white folks. You understand what I'm saying? Chuck. So I watched this man make 300 and some dollars like with under 45 minutes or whatever, whatever. And I said, what kind of subscribers you got to support you like that? Well, my subscribers that sit here and listen to me will rock the whole time out with me. So I know they like what I say and won't donate a dime because they think like I'm supposed to be free. I ain't working or whatever or something like that. I'm like, hold up. This kid have 4,000 subscribers. So there's different tiers of these subscribers, man, and what they throw their money towards and what they support monetarily. And evidently it's evil, salacious bashing that makes the top dollar. And I'm just not doing it. Ain't there enough characters doing that already? Gotta be somebody that does something different, right? Everybody does that. They get a hip hop blog. Let's talk about Jaguar Wright the wrong way. Then when she get out of a situation or whatever, y'all be the first one running up on her and put those same videos that you talk down on. You put them on private or whatever. I know all the little tricks. Put it on private or be ever, whatever, whatever. And then somebody bring it up, which they usually won't because they're so excited to see it on your program or you interview her or whatever the case may be. They gonna forget all about it. So not only did you make money off her name talking bad about her, you turn around and invite her to your show when she gets all well and set and done. That's how they move. You don't have to believe me. This is how YouTube is moving nowadays, and the subscribers are influencing the vloggers to do this. And I'm asking the vloggers, where's your balls? You scared to lose 1,000 people? I tell people all the time, if you don't like what the fuck I said, unsubscribe. I start that here right now at 15,000 followers in that scope versus when I get to 150,000 subscribers. You start that out from the beginning. Anybody working a new YouTube page, keep this in mind. Somebody come on your page and you don't like them, you don't whatever. Don't be scared to tell them, yo, would you please unsubscribe? And it'll donate to you, but always got something to write in the comment section. Can you please unsubscribe? I had a woman today write on a post that was a year and a half old, and she thought that was my current situation. And she wrote on there, what you need to do, one of them posts. What you need to do. And I said, what you need to do is start looking at the timestamps, you silly mother. You know, she thought that was my, you see what I mean? But this was a subscriber. And I blocked her. I didn't even ask her to unsubscribe. I blocked her. Because I was like, who are you? And for all I know, sometimes these people that come around, they flag your page or whatever the case may be, they expose themselves when they make a comment. They just can't help themselves. So I always suggest if you start a YouTube page, always flag those people. Never be scared to tell people, hey, yo, unsubscribe from my page. Never be scared to say that. I say it all the time. I've told people that were in the chat room that always want to talk all the time, but when I say, yo, hit up the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL 80, Stringer Bell 80, right? It's right in the description box right now. They go numb. I say, yo, hit the like button. They go numb. So you gotta don't ever be afraid to tell subscribers like that because they're just there because they're trying to see what you're doing. They want to hear what you say. They borrow talking points from you. A lot of them do that because they can't. They have to pantomime or copy what you say because they can't come up with the words and conceptually articulate the words themselves. So they have to borrow from you. One of the good things I have is I grew up in an educated family, I guess if you want to say, whatever the case may be. I'm educated myself or whatever, so I know how to pontificate and articulate pretty well. You know what I mean? I don't make no mistakes about it, even with this freaking accent here. But let me tell you guys this, and I'm going to end this, and I really mean this. Watch who your subscribers are. A lot of these subscribers are waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to make a mistake so they can come in like the barracudas that they are to rip you apart. And the killer will be sitting right there at your funeral. Hear what I said? The leader of the killing will be sitting right there at your funeral. Please believe that. Furthermore, and I'll tell you this, if any time you see a vlogger collecting money while talking dirty about somebody, morality wise, you should unsubscribe from that person. And I think more of you so-called, because there's a lot of you subscribers that quote unquote quote. I hate when a subscriber has or a commenter has 15 or 20 comments in a post or 15 or 20 comments in a live chat and they all negative. And then at the end of it, on the 16th comment, they'd be like, but God no. But God no. Have you just read the past comments you wrote? None of that had nothing to do with God. God wouldn't condone that shit you just wrote. You talking about God? God. God gonna send you on with gasoline, underwear on, and a sleigh slicked down with freaking petroleum oil when you get to the heavenly gates. All the shit you done during your life. See, watch these people to be talking holier than thou. A lot of prisoners do that. He in there for murder or something heinous or whatever. He'd be like, God, go help me. God with me. God don't fuck with you. The devil do. It's not God-like work. It's not God-like carrying yourself. A lot of people think that they get a lot of their blessings from God. The money they get is from God. Jesus was a man of minor needs. He had 12 disciples. He fed people with bread and fish, not riches. That's the touts of the devil. Trust me, I worked for millionaires for years. Y'all talk about everything that they do, right? So you think having a lot of money or any money in any denomination, you think that's God-like necessarily? A lot of these crooked preachers, they think that too. God gave it to me. You know who also said a term like that? If you ever seen the movie 12 Years a Slave, there's one scene where Kizzy out bales more cotton than the rest of the other slaves, right? And she says a queen among, he calls her a queen among niggas. That's what he says in the movie. He said, God gave her to me. They used to preach God on Sundays to keep the slaves in line in the Caribbean and the United States. They used God. You know, understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about the real God. I'm talking about a semblance of God that they detected and dictated themselves. So be real wary when you hear people in these chat rooms and all this stuff screaming God. But the couple of verses they've said before that was some evil crap. Catch you later too in that. Because what I find is a lot of these freaking subscribers, a lot of these people's in the chat room, they say the most evil stuff. And yeah, and you see what I'm saying, Patrice? They say the most evil stuff. And then they'll follow it up with saying God, something about God. God gonna see it through, or situations and things like that that happen. Oh, God know this person. And I'm like, yo, nothing you've done in the past several months has been about God. Everything that you've done has been about the devil, though. Everything you have done up until now, you mentioning God has been about the devil, though, or in correlation or in line linear wise with the devil. Is it fair to say that? Is it fair to say that? If your last 20 to 35 posts have been about bashing somebody else of color or whatever the case may be, or just bashing somebody in general of any culture, you're not a God-like person. God didn't do stuff like that, nor did the 12 disciples, nor did the angels, nor did Jesus, nor did Mary, not even Mary Magdalene, who was a prostitute, moved like that. You understand? So, only thing I'm saying to you, a lot of you vloggers, and one time in the near future here, this conversation will be totally different because then at that point I'll be at 150,000 subscribers instead of 15,000. But I still got more than most of YouTube. Most of YouTube, if y'all don't know it or not, has under 1,000 subscribers. I think they said something like 63% of accounts have under 1,000 subscribers, and it's only like another 20 or something percent like that that have under 50,000. So those are the tiers. You know what I mean? So we're on our way. When I get to that point, because I came from 1,000 subscribers. When I first got over here, I couldn't even live stream. You understand? You guys made that possible. But when you get in these positions, when you get popular on this, and this goes in reference with Jaguar, right? When you get in these positions, don't use this YouTube thing and let these subscribers pump you up. That's the whole modus operandi of this. They are like, you got to picture them, and this is how I picture them. When I see subscribers, I know it's a crowd, right? And I picture a crowd in a hallway or at a baseball game, football game, or whatever the case may be, more currently to me at a concert for music. And I picture in my head and I say to myself, I say, you know what? Out of that whole crowd, it's probably like 70 to 80% of them are envious of me, jealous of me, don't like me, whatever the case may be in reality. And then there's another batch of them in there that absolutely love me. And as you get more people and more subscribers, it kind of evens itself out or whatever. So I don't really be too partaking about worrying too deeply about the donation situation, but it does appear to me that there are picks as far as the topics and how you deliver those said topics in a salacious manner. And I just refuse to do that. One, I know better than that. And I know what it leads to. People were trying to tell people before me even entering the earth, y'all need to stop what y'all doing in their generation. You understand what I'm saying? That baby boom generation. It was people telling them, yo, y'all need to stop. This is what it's going to lead to. Don't believe me? Read the Moynihan report. See what he said. Thomas, I think his name was Thomas Moynihan. He was from right here in the New York City area. He wrote the report and he told what was going to happen to black and minority families once you took the father out the home. You get what I'm saying? That was a prediction of how the culture was steering based on the inactions of behavior that was going on within the culture. I'm trying to tell you again, if you keep doing this shit, there was another woman too, maybe y'all might not be familiar with, maybe you are. Her name was C. Dolores Tucker. At one time, she took a steamroller and ran over a whole bunch of rap CDs and all that stuff right there in Harlem. I think she did it around Lexington Ave somewhere. Years later, We found out that C. Dolores Tucker was absolutely freaking right. And that old evil broad, even though she looked like a black Cruella DeVille. You remember Cruella DeVille from the 101 Dalmatians? See Dolores Tucker. Look her up. You understand exactly what I mean. You understand exactly what I mean. Because think of what type of woman it has to be to take a steamroller and roll over CDs and stuff, right? But she was talking about gangster rap and where it would lead us. So now it ain't gangster rap no more. Now it's YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Just the vehicles to switch. So this vehicle, you got to ask based on the way people are utilizing it, where is this going to lead? The behavior that's being endorsed on here, influenced on here from subscribers. It's not this the bloggers. The bloggers are reacting and they navigating their stories based on what the subscribers want to see. So, and most of the subscribers, if you listen to half of the stuff they say, half of these people are retarded. Half of these people have not even graduated high school. Half of these people that are your subscribers are not very intelligent at all. They can't even make simple decisions in their own households. Better yet, trying to tell you. But they will get online and they will act and pretend as if they're intelligent when you can really tell if you are intelligent or educated or been in a collegiate institute, you will automatically tell this ain't somebody that's intelligent. This is somebody that's at the best quasi intellectual. This is somebody at the best that is guessing. This is somebody at its best that is having tricks and theories and throwing them out there and seeing which one sticks. And uniformly, with many people, especially in the like I'm a zennial. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but look it up. I'm a zennial. But people that fall under like I don't know Generation Z and under, they have this thing where they articulate things in their mind based on how they feel versus what's reality. And how they feel is based on the realm of possibilities versus reality. And this is what you have a lot of people engaging in, including some zennials, millennials, and Gen Xers. They all are involved in this type of thinking to a certain degree or another. It's the thought of possibility, the realm of possibility. And all possibilities are not meant to be sought out. You get what I'm saying here? And a lot of people are using these unnecessarily ridiculous ideas and throwing them in front of the face of anybody and everybody that'll listen on a podcast or a post on Instagram or Twitter, wherever you're using. And these weird and odd ideas get out there and they start becoming solid fact. And what happens is the vloggers start listening to some of these odd and weird ideas and they start adapting them into their whole diatribe for the day. They make their posts revolved around that. And one of the main things that sticks all the time is drama. Drama. Drama within the drama you already got now as a people and as a culture. Think about that. Guys, that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't want to get in depth about Jaguar's issues. I just want to let you guys know she is in a mental facility being evaluated, not committed, evaluated. I would say heavily and extensively evaluated, but she sounded like she was in good spirits, nevertheless, even though she was talking and well, you know how she talk. But I want to wish her well. I don't want to kick this woman when she's down. And if you're kicking her when she's down, and very yet, if you're making money off her name and you're talking down on her, you're a piece of crap, you know? And the people that are donating to these people in order just to hear them talk down on Jaguar, right? You're the bigger piece of crap. Because you're donating, you're enabling the vlogger, and you're enriching him by talking down on people that are in his very own culture. You got to watch these people. I'm trying to tell you, you got to watch these people that at the drop of a dime for a couple of dollars, this will be the same person that back in the days, they'd be like, Willie? He'd be like, yeah, yes, sir, boss. Look here, me and a couple of the boys, we got a runaway. We want you to go help us find them. Now, I need you to help me track them, Willie. We'll give you 2 gold coins and a chicken. All right, boss. You know what I mean? Like, it's really reverted back to that. And it's just in the diagram of YouTube. So I don't know how to make that make any sense anymore or whatever. But basically, that's what the subscribers are doing. They're paying people to track people. They're paying people to watch people, monitor people, be voyeurs. You like being a voyeur? That's what you like? Bro, watch somebody being a voyeur. They got tendencies to do other things, malicious things. Look up the definition of a voyeur. You'll understand exactly what I mean. Watch people that have these thought processes like this. People like that, they're toned to do certain things, mess around, and do things that us fellas would beat the snot out of them, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? Or you like chasing after, you know what I'm saying? Or beating on, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. It's crazy out here. Guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App, my Cash App. I feel free to say it because I watched the man today make $300 on talking down on this woman. I'm not doing any of that. And I even predicted and I was hoping she wouldn't do what I thought she would do, which was return back to social media. Jag, stay off social media. They are going to use it against you. Trust me when I tell you this. I know you think you're ahead of the game, but trust me, sometimes you need stuff out of another person's eye. Do not, do not keep hopping online. They're going to use it against you, especially when you're at the hospital. Fuck is wrong with you? Niggas today. Shout out to Philly, Jersey. Good luck, Jag. I think you'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just need to get some of that thicker deal in you. Now what I mean, sit down for a minute and stop being so hype and just talking so fast and all that. So stop. Get offline. Yeah, they might be really your friends, but they really, really your friends. They would tell you the same thing. Get the fuck offline. Just shut the fuck up for a minute. And I say that with love. Sometimes you gotta tell folks that. Hey, can you shut the fuck up for a minute? Thank you. Jesus Christ. You digging your own hole when you got a way out of the you literally only got to get a certificate to say this woman is perfectly fine and you good as gold. You understand what I'm saying? But on the offside, if they commit you because of the behavior of like things like borrowing the phone in the hospital to sign into an account where the app may or may not been downloaded on the phone, and then you sign into the app on your account, or you had to sign somebody out of their account to sign into your account. You don't do stuff like that in that position. It just don't. Not for the sake of some fans, not gonna say fans, subscribers, because if they were fans, they'd be like, Jaguar, where can I go purchase your music at? So you get more residuals. That's what they would do. They're not interested in Jaguar writes music. They interested or her as an artist. They'll make mentions of it, but they interested in what she's talking about and gossiping about. And that's a big difference. You don't want to be in that spot, Jaguar. Trust me when I tell you this. That spot don't last for a long time. Singing can last to the day you think of Sammy Davis Jr., think of Frank Sinatra, think of Aretha Franklin, think of Dionne Ward, think of all these wonderful women singers that have come before us or whatever. I can't even remember too many. Dionne Warwick still out here doing a thing in touring. Shaka Khan still out here doing a thing in touring. Sheila E still out there doing. Do you get the drift of what I'm saying? It lasts a lot longer. Your talent, your natural born talent, than this stuff. Than this stuff. You understand? So just keep that in order and keep that in mind. And I would hope, like I said this morning, like I said last night, stay offline. Stop talking to these people. They're going to set you up and they're going to put you in an arena where you're going to end up arguing with somebody and the wrong person's going to find out where you at, where you staying at or whatever. And they're going to send that to a doctor or a judge and be like, see, I told you, look at her threatening her husband. Look what her saying. You don't want that. You don't want to cross the wrong streams. Listen to what I'm telling you here, Philly, you hard-headed fuck. My granddaddy from Philly. My mom's father is from Philadelphia. Y'all some hard-headed motherfuckers down there. That's why the city's so rough down there. That city's rougher than New York in a lot of places. Keep your ass offline and quit trying to entertain these motherfuckers. You're in a position, the longer you take to come back, the more popular you are. Haven't you gotten that? The more you come on, the less popular you get and quickly. Keep that in mind. It's a different world. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that like button, $ STRINGERBELL 80, Stringer Bell 80. Link is in the description box. Also, there's a PayPal link there and a GoFundMe link. Make sure y'all hit that up. Y'all support everybody else. Like I said, I was just dumbfounded. I saw somebody that was talking down, a grown man that was bashing a woman unjustifiably. Unjustifiably. Like, homie, you was talking like she had did something to you, like she owed you a couple of dollars. Like, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, guys, talk to you later. Y'all have a good night.